Hi, my name is Yvon Dumont. I'm at Saint Laurent at Paul Chartrand's place with George Descharmes and Paul Chartrand. We're doing a little video here to show you a traditional Michif game that we used to play when we were kids and we went to school. And the reason that we're making this video is primarily to give you a demonstration of it, because we're going to have a competition at Saint Laurent Métis Days coming up on the August long weekend, and this competition will take place on the Saturday. So we would, in those days, we couldn't afford a fancy pocket knife, and so most of the kids would bring a lead sinker from a fisherman's net, and they would jam a nail in there and nail and pound it shut, either with a rock, or if we had a hammer handy, then we'd use a hammer. So we're going to give a little demonstration here of what that knife looks like and how it was made. George Descharmes made many over the years, and he's our resident expert, at least here tonight, and he's going to give us a demonstration right now. Okay, here's George, and he's ready to do a demonstration. This is George Descharmes, our, as I've mentioned before, our resident expert, at least here for today. He's made many of these knives over the years. First of all, we're going to show you what he uses to make the knife that we used to use. This is a lead sinker that fishermen used to use on their nets. They would run a line, a rope through the crack on the sinker, and then they would hammer it or somehow pound it tight around the rope, and then the sinker would hold the bottom end of the net down, so that the net would be up and down under the water. So that's the lead that we would use. Then we would use a nail, whatever nail we could get our hands on. This is a nice shiny nail here, but usually we'd have to straighten them out first because they were used nails. But anyway, so he would place it in the crevice like that, and then he would put it down on something solid, either a rock. In this case here we're using a board, and so you see how he does that, and then he's going to pound it shut. Okay, he's going to jam the nail into the slot there. The lead is soft, and so it goes in there. Now he's pounding that crevice close as tight as possible around the net, around the lead. Bang, 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 like that, yeah. It had to be tight so that it would hold. And there it is, the finished product. That was the type of a knife that we use. Now grab the end of the nail there to show how firm that's in there. That's solid in there. If it was loose, it wouldn't be very good, because sometimes it wouldn't work right, but it had to be nice and tight. So that's the kind of knife that we're going to use at Saint Laurent Métis Days for this competition that we talked to you about. Métis knife game. We don't know where it comes from, who invented it. All we know is that we used to play it in school when we were kids, and that's how we made our homemade knives. Thank you, George.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so here's George sitting on the ground here in one of the positions that one can take. There's really no rule on the position that you sit on or nail, but you make yourself comfortable in the best way you can, and then you start playing the knife. So here's George going to give us a demonstration of some of the moves. And wait a minute, I'm going to get close. Okay, so the first move would be to throw the knife up by the palm. Okay, throw it up it would have to stick in the ground like that to count. So that would be the first move. Then the next move is from the top of the hand and flip it up in the air. And move, we don't know where the name comes from, but this one is from the fist, and it's flipped over on the inside and sticks in the ground. We used to call it ligabosh. Okay, George, ligabosh. Okay, good. So this is ligabosh from the left. Okay, all right. Now here's ligabosh, ligibin. Gibin from the right, inside, stick in the ground. Okay, got it. Gibin from the left. There you go. So from now on, we're just going to show you the right-handed move, and then, but with the understanding that you have to do it with both hands in order to. If you see, he's got it now. But if you missed, then you went to the next guy that's sitting in a circle, and he would start. Now he did it from the elbow. Good shot. Yeah. There you go. All right. Now you'd have to do that from the left, and then do it from the left end. You'd have to use your knee, so you'd have to kind of sit up in a different position. Hold your knee up like that. The next guy, then you'd get your turn next time, and once the first one to finish all the moves would be the winner. So that's from the knee. Okay, from the knee, we'd move up and go from the ears, les oreilles. Okay, but then we go to the forehead, and then to the nose. Then you take the knife in your mouth, between your teeth, and you flip it up and hope that it sticks in the ground. Then you'd have the drops. So you'd have to hold it in your hand like that and just drop it on the outside. There you go. Then from inside. There you go. You flip it on the inside. There you go. All right. And after that, we go to the fingers, les doigts. And we'd have to 1, 2, you go to the next finger. I don't know if you can see that. You do it with all 5 fingers on your right hand or your left hand, and then you go on to the other one, like this.
You want me to do the other hand?
No, that's good. We just give them a demonstration of the left hand. Yeah. And then we would do the gis. Now for this move, we'd have to stick it in the ground at least 10 times in a row. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the next move would be your final move. So with the knife in your hand, you would turn so your back would be to the playing circle. You would hold the knife in your hand, throw it over your head, and stick it into the ground behind you. Now, if you were successful at doing that, you would be the winner of the knife game. There you go. Thank you, George.
You're very welcome. Ready.
Okay, so this is the rule. The knife, when it landed, would have to stick in the ground. Now there's various ways that it could stick in the ground. It could stick straight up and down like that, or a little bit on an angle. Turn it over, George. If it was like that, that counted. And the way to determine if it was stuck in the ground, if it was high enough, it was measured by, if there was space to put your finger underneath it between the ground and the knife. That's how you would determine whether it was stuck in the ground or not. But we had to agree. We had to agree before the game started. Sometimes if people thought they were really good, they would use 2 fingers. But for the purposes of the Métis games at Métis Days this year, we're going to use 1 finger. As long as you can stick 1 finger under the knife, between the ground and the knife handle, or the lead in this case, then you would know that that was a legal. It was legally stuck in the ground for the purposes of this game.